Thank you. I think just briefly, I should say that our group was the scantiest. We were only 4 or 5. We were begging people to join us. The same people did not want to engage with the issues of law and statutory bodies. Be that as it may, we were asked to look at the statutory and legal dimensions to these issues. And we concluded that the law, the aspect of the statutes, we looked at statutory bodies. Because when you talk about law and statute, it's almost the same thing. But statutory, you're talking about statutory bodies. TUSLA, statutory bodies set up by law. When you say statutory, set up by law. The social work department, statutory. And Gada Shokono, set up by the law as well. So we looked at those institutions and to see how can they help with the situation at hand and how are they contributory factors to the problem on ground. Some of the issues you have covered, but we found out that in terms of the social services, that there is very little understanding of diversity. And I think so much has been said about diversity and all that. We also talked about the fact that most of the staff or people staffing these agencies are 99.9% native Irish. And those who make decisions that impact minorities have very little understanding of the issues facing minorities, their backgrounds and all that. So that is an issue there. And we thought that, more effort should be put into making sure that there's not just enough diversity training, but more importantly, in terms of equal opportunities, that more Africans and people of African descent, minding my Jamo, cool runnings there, and Asians are, given opportunity to get involved and work in these areas, including Angada Shokono. I'll be very happy the day I see, an African member of Angada Shokono, So there is one, but I mean, well, it's probably not been, advertised more. For our children are not seeing that. So then we looked at somebody in our group, the politician in our group, talked about the issue of integration. And he mentioned it in light of, statutory agencies. We have, within the Department of Justice, there was a Minister of State for Integration, Colonel Lenihan, and I don't think there is one now at present, and we're looking at integration being a two-way traffic. How do we make our children, comfortable with our backgrounds? And then how do we also make them, Irish enough to get used to the Irish way of life? So it's a two-way traffic. And we felt that, in terms of the institutional contribution by the states that, that is, lacking. And then again, also in terms of why we see the problems that our children are, their behavior now. And someone said in our group that it may be as a result of a revolt, children revolting against, social exclusion. The politician in our group, I say that because, I want us, I don't mean it in a degrading manner, but it is an encouraging way, because we don't engage in politics. That children in Balbriggan themselves said that the reason why they tend to act in an antisocial way is because they feel they're being stereotyped by the Gardaí in Balbriggan. Okay, and we see some of them in terms of the way they have been dealt with, both either by schools, official institutions. They feel not welcome and they find that they just have to revolt. And they just have to do things that don't confront, to societal expectations. So in terms of both the statutory and legal aspects of it, it seems to be more of, from our perspective, what we looked at is a failure of institution, agencies failing, agencies not being well equipped to deal with the issues of diversity, people making these decisions, not fully aware of the cultural dimensions to this. And then also, when we talk about social exclusion, these youngsters themselves, a lot of them, feel that they are being discriminated against. So many of them would want to work during vacations. They are not given job opportunities. They face discrimination in the workplace. And then also their parents. And what you see is that kind of reaction. So I have youngsters that have applied for vacation jobs in various shops, and they don't just get taken. And then we all know quite well that in terms of employment opportunities, Irish Africans are at the bottom, not because of lack of qualifications or because we don't have what it takes, but the system is skewed against us, and there is this discrimination. And so much so that even these millennials who were born here, who speak with an Irish accent, most of us, we are Irish, I'm Irish, but I don't speak with an Irish accent, They are son of the soil. They were born here. I could lose my citizenship tomorrow. It's, naturalization. But you cannot strip them of citizenship. They were born in Ireland before the citizenship laws were amended. So, and they are free to I can't, I'm sure if I stand up to run for the office of Taoiseach, I will be disqualified because I'm not, I'm not Irish born. What I'm trying to say is they are son of the soil, and they are beginning to experience discrimination. They're beginning to experience social exclusion. And the way they deal with it is, revolt against the system. And so, and once they do that, they're in confrontation with the law, and the next thing is what? They get arrested. And so finally, we just thought that, we drive home the point that it is not just so much as antisocial behavior. Antisocial behavior can result in criminal convictions. And some of these youngsters, some of them are under 17, majority of them are over 18. And when Sergeant Delaney is dealing with them and his colleagues, they deal with them as adults before the law. There is equality before the law, all right? But in terms of how the law deals with you, there may be inequality. But everybody here is equal before the law. Be you white, be you black, be you Irish citizen, be you someone with a residence permit, you're all equal before the law. But our children, if they fall on the wrong side of the law, they get a criminal conviction. They will not be able to get good jobs. They will not be able to access so many opportunities. Their lives are ruined, and they don't know this. And that's why we're here.